music to the world is brought to you by Gittens Pharmacare, the pharmacy that cares. Halifax Street, St. George's. Natural Cool, Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse. Cool clothes for cool people. The Computer Store Grenada Limited, Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse. The Gamers Paradise with headsets by Razer, Conair, JBL, Sony, Astro, Logitech, and more. And Island Catering, without a doubt, the best food and catering service on the island. Gittens Pharmacare, the pharmacy that cares. Halifax Street, St. George's. Affordable access to care, a wide range of prescription drugs, medical supplies, health and beauty items, diabetic testing supplies, immune system support products, vitamins, supplements, and lots more. Visit us today or call 440-2165. Ask about or call in prescriptions, discounted items, and special delivery requests. Gittens Pharmacare. Care, convenience, expertise. We've got it all.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, and welcome to Greenz Music to the World. I'm your host, Eugene Gittens, and I've got a special guest in the studio this morning. I'm sure most of you know who that is. But before I start, I just want to say a big thank you to all of the people who have come on board to support, all of the businesses that have come on board to support this program. We can't do it without them. I would also encourage you to support those who support us. So, shop at those businesses, Gittens Pharmacare on Halifax Street, the Computer Store, Spiceland Mall, Natural Cool, also the Spiceland Mall, and of course, Island Catering. So what we will do today, we'll start off with some videos as usual, and then a little later on we would say we'll start talking to our special guest. But in the meantime, let him say good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, boss. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Really glad to have you on the program today, man. Yeah, so we're going to chat a little later on. We can start things off with a couple of videos. And let me see if you heard about a guy called Gittens, A-N-T-S. Gittens. Okay. I don't know what it means. I was trying to catch up with him to see what Gittens actually means. I never caught up with him. But it's a nice little video. It's okay for this morning, especially with all the overcast and raininess. So it's a nice like sunny video. So it's called Morning Star. So let's hear Morning Star, Gittens.
Blessed morning. It's a beautiful day in your kingdom. Ha. Look at the stars, the birds, hear them sing. Such a beautiful day. Ha. Morning star begins to rise just before the break of day. Morning star begins to rise, and the darkness just fades away, yeah. The morning star begins to shine, so it's a brand new day. Stand up and be counted, let just shine thy way. When I put my head from my pillow and I rise from a slumber, the Almighty a guide I and I, cause I am counted in a them. Morning star begins to rise just before the break of day. Morning star begins to rise, and the darkness just fades away, yeah. The morning star shines my feet, even the blind can see it. The energy me get from the morning star, nothing else can compete. And when the star shines it red, I like the hair on my skin them break. And when me look at creation, the morning star has me so a morning star begins to rise just before the break of day. Morning darkness just fades away. Yeah. The morning star begins to shine, so it's a brand new day. Stand up and be counted. Let just shine thy way. When I put my head from my pillow and I rise from a slumber, the Almighty a guide I and I, cause I am counted in a them. Morning star begins to rise just before the break of day. Morning star begins to rise and the darkness just fades away. Yeah, morning star begins to rise just before the break of day.
Yes, Morning Star by the man Gittens. Well, new person to you? Yeah, kind of new to me too. I've got to find out a little bit more, where he's from and that kind of thing. Somebody just sent me the video. I also want to just let people know, let viewers know, especially musicians, artists, know that they can send their videos over to us, and once they meet certain criteria, we will play them, because that's the whole idea of the show, to expose them to the world, the nation first and the world. But Jeremy, there's something I've been noticing happening with our videos. I receive a lot of videos and a lot of links to videos, and I'm a bit concerned actually. I am seeing a lot of violence, a lot of guns all of a sudden, a lot of cutlasses. I mean, a lot of, even like sexual kind of violence, overemphasis on alcoholism. I sometimes I think we need to just take stock of ourselves, I would want to implore and encourage videographers and artists to be a bit more responsible. Yeah, you can have disclaimers and you can have all kind of stuff, but it's there, and the young people, our children, people are seeing it, and those things have negative effects on young minds. And I think we cannot glorify violence, we cannot glorify guns and cutlasses, and so I am making a special appeal to those involved in the production of these videos to, like I said, be a little bit more socially responsible, at least a lot more. But also, I think more importantly, just be more creative, because actually, that's not being too creative. You could be so much more creative by doing some other stuff. So, put your creative minds at it and come up with a nice storyboard and something that makes sense. And you know what? Your video will also get played, which is what an artist wants. You want your music to be played. That's how you're going to become a huge artist, which is what you want to be. So if you keep putting out stuff that can't be played or can't be viewed, either the video or the audio can't be played, then you're kind of defeating the purpose of being an artist. So again, I encourage the artists to do better. Right, so our next artist coming up, our next video is by Vaughn. Of course, everybody knows Vaughn. Trouble in the Morning Vaughn from Coast Guard, Victoria. And this one is called Letter to the Outside. So let's hear Letter to the Outside, Vaughn.
Dear everybody, I just want to write this letter to you too. Just to say hi. I hope everybody is doing alright. And thank you for the part that you all play in my life. Hello, everybody, hello. How are you? Tell me, how do you do? Long time I don't see anybody. Hope everybody mellow. What is new? Tell me, how do you do? I hope everyone is alright. And I hope you're doing just fine. To everybody when we met outside, alright. Hope you're doing alright. Boy, to all my family and all the friends in my life, yeah. I hope everything is alright, yeah. We know we're not talking a long time, we're not seeing a long time, and I just wanna say hi to everybody when we met on every flight, bus, train, lift, and Uber rides, and everyone who play a part in our journey and a part in our rise. I wanna say hello everybody hello. How are you? Tell me, how do you do? Long time I don't see anybody. Hope everybody mellow. What is new? Tell me, how do you do? I hope everyone is alright. Alright, alright. And I hope you're doing just fine. Just fine, just fine. I'll see you again sometime. Outside, alright. Hope you're doing alright. Alright. And if you lost somebody, condolences to you. But God has so much plans for you. This is a message He told me send to you. This is not the end for you. And there's so much people I wish I could have see again. But Jah know me happy, say you was my friend. I hope this message reach you someday, somehow, some way. I wanna say hello, everybody, everybody, hello. How are you? Tell me, how do you do? Long time I don't see anybody. Hope everybody mellow. What is new? Tell me, how do you do? I hope everyone is alright. Alright, alright. And I hope you're doing just fine. Just fine, just fine. To everybody when we met outside. Outside, alright. Hope you're doing alright. And I'll see you soon outside. Alright.
Yeah, that was Vaughn, a letter from the outside. And of course, I think that was done during the pandemic. And, you know, just checking in on everybody. I thought that was a nice little video, nice and positive. I forgot to mention, for those who want to send videos into the show, the email address is Greenz Music to the World. Kind of long. So that's GREENZ, Music to the World, all together, at gmail.com. And like I said, we will, once the music meets certain criteria, like I talked about, we will definitely be happy to air it. So send your music in, and again, we at this station and at this program, we try to link you up to other people in the music industry. So once your music is well received, you know, there are opportunities for you. We'll try to link you with producers, with you know, artist managers and other people to try to, you know, help you go further with your music. So please keep sending those videos in and make sure that we can play them. Jeremy.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of a word called therapy?
Well, I just did
a while ago, eh? Therapy. My daughter just taught me this word this morning. Therapy. It has to do with therapy. Mm-hmm. But you know, I always understood the word even though I didn't know it. Because like on a wet morning like today, I had a black shirt to wear and it didn't feel right, you know what I mean? So I pulled this out, brighten it up a little bit, you know? Yeah. So therapy, things that you wear that make you feel a certain way, make you feel okay. And I just want to take the opportunity to say here that I get a lot of compliments from my shirts, and I want to say where they come from. My shirts come from Natural Cool at the Spiceland Mall. So go down to Natural Cool and support them because they support this program. As a matter of fact, Father's Day is coming up. A nice gift to dad is always a beautiful, some kind of clothes, a beautiful shirt, pair of pants, whatever. They got them down there. They also do ladies' clothes. So I want to give them a little plug. We also want to mention a couple other people. The computer store. Jeremy, how you like your headphones?
They sound great.
They sound good, right? The music sounds good. Yeah, those headphones again were provided by not Natural Cool, but still in the Spiceland Mall, the computer store. They also support the program, and they provided the headphones that Jeremy is wearing right now. And actually, it's my favorite pair of headphones. I want to ask them for one for myself because I want to forget.
I need a pair.
I hear you. I listen to those headphones, man, and the sound quality. So you know what? It's a JVC, okay. And JVCs are top of the line headphones, top of the line equipment generally. So yeah, JVC. We got one more video to play before we come to you, Jeremy, to chat a little bit. We're gonna move to Sabrina Francis's brand new video. Sabrina's video is it's really a classy. Have you seen it yet? Nobody knows.
No.
Really a nice video. Very elegant. very elegant, and she has this nice yellow dress. Well, you'll see it in a minute. It's just a classy video. So kudos to Sabrina and her team for once again coming with something nice and that we can play, of course. So Sabrina Francis, Nobody Knows. Yes, Sabrina Francis. Beautiful video.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our sponsors' promos right now, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Yeah?
Greenz Music to the World is brought to you by Gittens Pharmacare, the pharmacy that cares. Halifax Street, St. George's. Natural Cool, Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse. Cool clothes for cool people. The Computer Store Grenada Limited, Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse. The Gamers Paradise with headsets by Razer, Conair, JBL, Sony, Astro, Logitech, and more. And Island Catering, without a doubt, the best food and catering service on the island. Gittens Pharmacare, the pharmacy that cares. Halifax Street, St. George's. Affordable access to care, a wide range of prescription drugs, medical supplies, health and beauty items, diabetic testing supplies, immune system support products, vitamins, supplements, and lots more. Visit us today or call 440-2165. Ask about or call in prescriptions, discounted items, and special delivery requests. Gittens Pharmacare. Care, convenience, expertise. We've got it all.
Jeremy.
Yes.
Jeremy, Sean, Hector. You like to use a Sean?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Is there another Jeremy Hector around?
probably,
Okay.
but maybe not another Jeremy Sean Hector.
Okay. I know you told me,
Yeah.
Sean. Yeah. So, where do we start? We can start from the beginning. You know? The best place to start always. So, let's start at coming up in the music. What was that like? Where did it begin?
Wow. Well, I grew up my dad played music, he plays guitar, and I grew up listening to a lot of different music, from jazz to country to soul to, just a wide variety of music. Plus, I had some neighbors who were very generous with their, how should I say, they had very loud speakers on their verandas.
Okay.
And some would call it noise pollution.
Well, you enjoyed it, eh?
But that exposed me to other music that I perhaps wouldn't have heard in my house. So I had a very, from an early age, I was always listening to music. I didn't obviously understand what I was hearing, but I was always drawn to music, and I was listening to jazz and enjoying it and appreciating it from as early as age 9, probably. So, and I started playing classical piano for probably 5 years with a man called Mr. Joseph Chateau.
Oh,
He would have passed on. Yeah.
West Hall.
Yes. So that
What age was that? Roughly.
I probably was 7 or 8 at the time. Maybe could have been 9. Somewhere around that age. And I did that for a few years, but I developed an ear early on, but I can read the music. So he would think I was reading the music when I learned it by ear, and I was just playing it, and then from classical piano, I transitioned into playing keyboards at church. I did that for a few years, and I think I was getting pretty good at it. But my dad always wanted one of us to play the guitar, so he bought some guitars that were just packed up in the house. The strings were all rusted and stuff, and never really touched them until Hurricane Ivan, when I didn't have power to turn the keyboard on. And I just picked this thing up, and that was it. I never went back to playing the keyboard. I could barely play now, to be honest. My hands are all out of shape and stuff, but I guess that was the moment when I kind of realized this is what I wanted to really play. And it's weird how it happened. I never really gave it any thought before that time when I couldn't turn the keyboard on. And the rest is history, I guess. My dad started teaching me a little bit, a few chords here and there, a few jazz chords, and we worked together for a few years until he got to the point where he felt like maybe I was sounding a little bit too much like him. He said, maybe I should explore on my own and figure out stuff. I didn't understand that at the time, but looking back, I think that was a good move, because it allowed me to find my own voice and figure out what I really wanted to do on the instrument and stuff like that.
So did you at that time just seek stuff on the internet and stuff, or did you get a teacher, a guitar teacher?
Well, as young as I look, when I was learning, there wasn't YouTube as yet. Yeah, so I had a little book with some chords and scales, and I would just practice them over and over for hours, every day. And I never really had like a formal teacher for any length of time. I had a few lessons here and there, but never had like a teacher. Yeah.
Self-taught, which is fine. So Hurricane Ivan, man, that's what changed your life, huh?
Yeah.
Changed your musical life anyway. Jeremy, let's hear my favorite song by you, Spray Bay. Amazing song, man. Actually, before we play it, I'm going to ask you, we can talk all about the production and all that with Eddie Berlin and all that. But what inspired that melody? First of all, hum the melody for me.
Oh, no, man. You can't.
Hum the melody, man. Yes, you can't sing.
I won't embarrass myself. It's too early in the day.
Too early. All right.
My voice is not warm enough.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Good excuse. What inspired that melody, though?
Wow. I was where was it? A friend of mine came down from Toronto, Electric Lions, a bass player, and he was staying in West Hall Point, and he wanted to work on an album, and I was privileged to play the guitar on his album, a few songs. And there was one time he brought this mobile studio with him, you know, and there was one time we were doing a lengthy session, and he got tired. I was tired too, and he said, you know what, let's go for a walk. So we left and went for a walk, and we ended up at this beach that is called Spray Bay
in West Hall Point.
I had never been there before. My first time in my life was, and you know, we were just having conversation about how he came to be in Grenada, and you know, just how it seemed like the moment was almost predestined, and you know, it was some deep stuff. And at one point he walked away from me and went on the beach, and I just stood back, just taking in this beach is, I mean, if you haven't been there, have you?
Well, I've been to a couple beaches in West Auckland, but I don't know if I've been to that one.
Yeah, man. It just like the scene of I think it was like late afternoon, so the sun kind of disappears really early there, based on where the beach is, and I was just kind of blown away by the beauty of nature, and I was just reflecting to myself, you know, on how amazing this moment is, and the melody just popped into my head just right then and there for the little chorus melody, and I took my phone out and sang a voice note, which will never be heard by anyone. And yeah, I sang a voice note and I saved it, and I forgot about it for a couple of days. And then ever so often I go back through my notes, because if I don't save things like that when they come in the moment, I'll just lose them.
Inspiration, you gotta save it.
And yeah, I just built the song around the melody, and that was really it. That was really it. The story of Spray Bay. Yeah.
Interesting, very very nice story actually. So we're gonna hear Spray Bay now, and we're gonna confirm everything you said. Spray Bay, Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy, beautiful song, man. Spray Bay. And you were telling me during the song that part of the video was actually recorded on Spray Bay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
A few clips from there.
Right, and of course the other part in Silver Sands. Yeah, I noticed you're playing a semi-hollow guitar. So for some, I guess the musicians would know you have electric guitars, you have acoustic guitars, and you got a kind of combination. What's your favorite guitar to play?
It depends on how I feel. I have 6 of them.
Okay.
And some people would say, well, why do you need 6 guitars? Or you can't just play one? And my answer would be, well, what would you have in the keyboard instruments, you have piano, organ, you have different types of piano, and you would know that there are certain songs that you cannot play using an organ,
right,
because it's not the effect you're going for. It's the same thing with guitars. They sound different, they feel different. If you look at jazz, you would see most jazz players play hollow bodies. They're bigger, they give you a warmer sound. So it really depends on how I feel and what sound I'm going for. But if I had to choose one guitar of all the ones I own, it would be the Telecaster.
The Telecaster is Fender?
Yes.
Fender Telecaster?
Yeah.
Why that one?
Well, it's the one that feels most natural to me, and it's very versatile. I could play a number of different styles on it. So it's just been my favorite guitar for years, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I mean, I like all of them, but that's the one I would.
Telecaster. The one you're playing here is.
It's a Ibanez.
Ibanez. Okay, good brand, very good brand too. Ibanez. Yeah. So tell me, who are some of your favorite guitarists? Three of your favorite guitarists. Top 3.
Okay, that would have to be Chuck Loeb. Chuck Loeb is a guy who, when I first heard his album, I was like 12 years old, and at that point I knew I wanted to play the guitar and like that. And I know he taught me how to. His songs were like, they had verses and choruses and bridges, even though it was instrumental music. And I picked up on that because, you know, when you listen to especially smooth jazz, a lot of the time it could sound like elevator music. Like it's something that comes on and it just fades into the background because it's kind of just like a few chords and
no voice
and it's like a lot of repetition, and you could hardly find, well, what's the chorus. And for me, when I write a song, I like to write, even though it's instrumental, it's written in a way that you could put words to it after the fact, and someone listening could follow, oh yeah, that's the chorus, no, that's the verse section, or they call it the A section or B section, you know. So Chuck Loeb, I would have to say Eric Gales, not Eric Gale, people confuse the two, Eric Gales. And number 3, it's tough for me because I have so many.
Well, you can say 4th or?
Yeah, so, I mean, definitely George Benson.
Okay.
And if I had to squeeze in a 4th, I would say Norman Brown.
Norman Brown, I'm not familiar. Excellent. I'll go check them out though. What do you think of my 3 guitars? Of course, they're not in your vein of jazz at all. But my 3 favorite guitarists. First of all, Jimi Hendrix. What do you think of him?
I mean, he's widely accepted as the greatest of all time. So
okay. Yeah. Santana.
Yeah, Santana he has his own unique style, and you know.
And this might surprise you, Wes Montgomery.
It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't.
You can relate to that. Yeah. Right. You've heard of another Grenadian guitarist. Also did some work with Eddie. He's based in New York. Richie Nicholas. You heard his works?
Yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah, I think I saw a video on Facebook or something like that, or a sample of something. I don't quite remember. Yeah.
Okay, you must check him out.
Yeah.
We played his music. We played his music on this show. We're gonna be talking to him sometime.
Oh,
soon.
nice.
And so stay tuned. Eddie also helped produce his work. So you talk about the guitars you like, you talk about spray bear, you talk about a lot of stuff. Let's talk about Eddie. Let's talk about, before we go to Eddie, let's talk about Soul Deep, because I'll tell you, the first time I saw Soul Deep perform, I said, thank God. I mean, Grenada youth, there's some serious musicians. I mean, I was like amazed. You guys were playing, and Eddie mentioned it yesterday. Last week I interviewed Eddie, and he was talking about, you guys were playing Spain by Chick Corea, and songs like, a lot of Stevie Wonder songs. I mean, very, very challenging songs for a musician. And I was always very impressed by your band, and very disappointed that it didn't continue. But that's like a lot of bands. So, tell me, first of all. Why did Soul Deep? Why are they not in existence right now?
Yeah.
A lot of reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, people start moving in different directions, and that's just life.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We still have, we're cool, everybody, there's no, but that's just the nature of life,
and
you have to.
You're right, and it's the nature of music, Take Bob Marley and the Wailers, classic example, everyone went off and did their own thing. Peter Tosh, Bernie Wailer, Bob, everybody went off and did their own thing. So I expect the same to happen with your group as well, that we'll be hearing a lot more from the others. But tell us, who were the other members of Soul Deep?
So it was myself, my brother Josh
on drums,
Carvel Isaac on keyboards, Gerard Nelson on bass, and Denison Andrew was the lead singer.
Right. No, your brother is a very talented drummer.
Oh yeah.
What is? I know he's also. I think he went to SU and did psychology. So
actually, no. We both studied psychology.
Oh, you both did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He lectures at SU.
Right.
So he didn't attend SU.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, he didn't attend lecture at SU. Right. And any plans to incorporate two things? Any plans, one, for a Soul Deep reunion? I'd be happy to help promote that. Two, any plans for, as you go forward with your music, you may put together a band or so. Any plans to incorporate your brother into that band?
I think at one point we both were doing music full time, and obviously his life has changed in some ways, and so yes, he's still my favorite drummer to play with. Like he knows what I'm about to do before I even do it, and it's just, we just have that thing, because we've played together for years. It's just guitar and drums sometimes, and so we have that strong connection. Yes, definitely I would like to have him play drums on some of my songs, but as far as going forward on a long-term basis, I'm not sure if that would happen, to be honest. As far as the Soul Deep reunion, I can't answer. I don't know.
I'll try to make it happen. Okay, let's hear a track from you, come back, and then we come back and we talk about your connection with Eddie Bullen and the production of your album. So we're going to hear something from you is it New Orleans All-Star Jazz Band?
Yes.
Who are those guys?
Well, it's actually a group of musicians that kind of rotate. I think that the head of it was the drummer Jojo, a guy called Jojo Bowden, and he kind of rotates some musicians around him. That was my understanding. So on that particular night, it was myself on guitar, Eddie on piano, and a guy called Carlton. What's his last name? I think it's Barrett on bass.
And you're playing at a club somewhere in Toronto, Canada?
Yeah, it's called Nolens.
The club is called Nolens.
Yeah.
I got you. So it's a house band kind of thing.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, let's hear Summertime. New Orleans Jazz Band. Yeah, so Summertime, classic jazz piece. Not just jazz, everybody, all genres play that song. But tell us now about the connection with Eddie, and you know, how you met Eddie, how it came about, and then doing that album with him, or what that was like. I guess it was done in Canada at his studio. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell us.
I mean, growing up as a musician in Grenada, of course, Eddie Bullen. Mm-hmm. He came a few times that I went to see him play and stuff, but we never really connected. I think the connection, when we really connected, was through Champy Evans. Mm-hmm. And he came one year and Champy invited him to a gig, and that's when he heard us play.
So deep?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And
I think he was blown away.
Well, he said he was. Mm-hmm. So at that point, we didn't really. I remember him asking, "Do you have original songs?" And at the time, I had a few ideas, as I would call them, but nothing concrete. And he left one of his albums with me. I remember that it was Spice Island, mm-hmm. and that's an amazing album.
Beautiful,
and
beautiful album.
I was just blown away by some of the music, and it really motivated me to write and organize the ideas I had into finished songs. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see him again. I don't think we didn't even exchange numbers at that point. I didn't see him again until he came. Probably it could have been about a year later or more. Mm-hmm. And we really connected then, and he asked again, "Do you have original songs?" And I had a few. I showed him some of the ideas I had, and he was like, okay, I could hear where this is going. And he said, "Listen, if you could come to Toronto, I'll record an album for you." And I mean, of course, you hear things like that all the time, mm-hmm. But he really meant it, and we stayed in contact, and he kept pushing me, and I would record stuff and send it to him. And before I knew it, we had enough material for an album, and it was just about me getting there, and I did. And he was very generous. He's a good friend, mentor. He's just an overall solid guy, and it's been my pleasure connecting with and working with him. It's amazing for me to hear how I would send him an idea and he would interpret and send it back, and it always kind of blows me away, like just how he adds value to the music I send to him, So it's been really, really great working with him, and I'm looking forward to
the next one.
Yeah.
When's that coming? Pretty soon?
Yes.
You mentioned it, in this interview last week. Yeah. And we are looking forward to that, man. How many songs were on the first album?
10.
10. So it's a full album, not like a...
Yeah, it was 10 songs. 9 original. Mm-hmm. And one song was African Lady by Ajamu.
Oh, right. You did that.
Reharmonized it a little bit, and I had to do it. I
still have the version of that song with you and I think it was you and your brother.
That's from way back.
From way back. I still have that. Yeah. So how did it? I know how the album did, but I'm going to ask you to tell the people, how did the album do, and how did Spray Bay in particular do?
Wow, man! To be honest with you, I was kind of blown away by some of the things that happened. Mm-hmm. There was a stretch when it was like number 5 on the iTunes jazz chart in Canada, mm-hmm. right up there next to Diana Krall and Nat mm-hmm. King Cole. Stayed there for a few days, fluctuated, dropped down to 10, back up to 5. I think it was that the closest it got to number 1 was, I think, 2nd.
Nice. Cool. That's close.
And then it was doing well on all random charts from around the world, like in some European countries. I can't remember the names now, but
And also, I think it hit something, and Eddie mentioned this last week as well, hit something like 3 million streams on Spotify. That's a major achievement.
That's just from Spray Bay alone. I would say if it keeps moving at this rate, it would be 4 million by the end of the month.
Excellent. Wow.
You know, so
amazing achievement.
It's just been, I've been getting onto editorial playlist. I was on that playlist for a long time. People listening from everywhere. It's interesting looking at the end of the year on Spotify, they show you, and it's just amazing, like looking at the countries
where people listen,
and how many people are listening. You know, so yeah, definitely it surpassed my expectation. You know, being a first album, and especially in that category of music,
right? And
coming from where I'm coming from, you know, you don't expect that visibility right away, but I mean, it's just been amazing, you know.
So would you say the pressure is on, you know, for the second album to try to keep those expectations going, or those accomplishments going?
Actually, you know what? I don't feel like I'm under pressure, because like I think I believe in the music that I do, and I can't make another Spray Bay. I can't. It's its own thing, and when you make a song, it's like having a child. You know, it could grow up and be its own thing, and it's almost intangible. You know, it exists outside of you, and I think the way I look at it, I remember talking to Boo Hinkson one time, and he said something to me that I replay every day almost. He said, you know, greatness it's something that it flows through you, basically. You could have the potential to be great, and if you don't position yourself, it won't happen. So in that way, I understand that it's about positioning myself to allow that thing to flow through me, and I'm not wrestling internally to try to make it happen. You know, I don't sit down to write a song and I'm like, I have to write a song today. It doesn't work that way. As I'm going along, working on stuff, listening, reflecting, the songs come. Right. And I think it's more natural that way, and it's not forced, and there's something honest about it. It's not like I'm trying to say I'm the best at this. I'm just saying this is what I have to say, and this is my message, and however it comes out, I think people who need to receive it, they will, you know. So as far as me being under pressure, I wouldn't say so. I'm in a different space now. The writing is different, and the arrangement is different. So I think it would build on what is already established.
Jeremy, before we take another song of yours, I want you to talk to the up-and-coming musicians in Grenada, and not so much the singers this time, but the musicians, because you're a musician. What message do you have for them?
I would say figure out what type of musician you want to be and pursue it, because music is vast. It's bottomless, it's endless. There are styles within styles, you know, and if you chase let's put it this way, if you chase everything that impresses you, you'll find yourself being able to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So at some point you have to settle down and take the time to figure out, what do I want to be? What is my sound? Who am I really? And expose yourself to a wide variety of music, not just, you know, the local music, but expose yourself to a wide variety, and that's the best way to figure out what your particular taste or tastes are. And sometimes you end up taking a piece from this and a piece from that to define your sound, you know. So that would be my advice. Expose yourself, practice hard, master the simple.
What does that mean, master the simple?
Well, there are some basic elements that make any musician great, and I think I'm guilty of it because of how I learned. I flew past some of the simple things that I should have learned. Like if you're a guitarist, for example, knowing all the notes on the neck, knowing all your scale positions and stuff. I think mastering that before trying to tackle the more technical stuff
The rudiments
is
of music.
fundamental. And rudiments it can take you very far, very far. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Master Control, let's see what we're going to put that woman first. That's a cover.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's hear Jeremy Hector doing the cover. Put that woman first. Yeah, I think he's trying to find it because I kind of skipped out a couple of songs. Put that woman first, or anything that anyone. go through over there if he would call himself a smooth jazz guitarist? What's the answer?
Yeah, I fit in that category.
That'll be your category, of course. Jeremy, you know, we're going to wrap up the interview. It was great talking to you this morning, but I want to ask you one final question. Where you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Yeah, if I think I want to do a third album within that time period, and I definitely want to do a lot more teaching. I've been feeling lately like performing is great and all that, but I want to share stuff I've learned. Especially when I look around, I don't see like the when I was younger, there were a lot of people interested in learning music and playing at a certain level. I don't see that anymore, and I think I definitely want to impart some of what I've learned. I learned in a very, I would say, unconventional way, and that has helped me to see music from different perspectives. So yeah, I would say a combination of performing and recording, teaching. That's I definitely want to perform more, but I also want to add teaching to my portfolio. I recently finished a music program at Humber College, which it was a year long, and it really opened my eyes to some of the theoretical concepts that I had an idea of, but I wasn't really sure. And because I learned to play first and then I reverse engineered, so I think I'm more, now that I know more theory, I'm more open to teaching that to other people as well as playing. So man, in this business, it's hard to say where you'll be in the next 5 years, but I definitely want to establish myself with a solid catalog of songs, stuff that I could perform. Like I'd like to do entire sets where it's just my music, you know, and in a sense, the good thing about that is you play things that you like, you know. I perform sometimes, and I'll be honest, sometimes I don't enjoy all the songs I play. People like it, but to get to a place where you're playing your music and people like it, that's
high level.
Every artist's dream, you know. Yeah.
I like the idea of the teaching. I'm very impressed by that. You'd be a great asset for us in Grenada, and for all the young people coming up who would want to learn, and we hope they would take that opportunity to learn from someone like you, you know. So that's really admirable that you also want to do some imparting of knowledge. I think that's really wonderful. Anybody you want to say hi to before we wrap up?
Wow, I'll just use a blanket hi here and just say hi to everyone out there who has supported, listened, followed, interacted in some way. I know the truth is you never know how many people are listening. Some people don't say a word to you, but they're looking, and you know, I really appreciate all the support from people locally, internationally, wherever you are in the world listening to this. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice. You know, one thing I like about you, man, you accomplished a lot so far on your journey, and you still seem to remain very humble, which I think is very, very important and very cool.
Yeah,
so
well,
keep it up.
Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that the more I know, the more I realize how little I know, and I have so far to go. When someone hears me, they just hear me for what I am. When I listen to myself, I hear what I lack, you know. And it's not shooting myself down. It's just understanding that the journey never stops.
It's a song, you know, that stuck with me from a youth. There was a song by Johnny Nash. the more I find out is the less I know. I always remember that song, you know. You learn so much from songs. And by the way, I want to mention to you, you mentioned a name, Diana Krall, one of my favorite artists in that vein of music.
Yeah.
I love Diana Krall. Ever seen her?
Never.
Not
never.
yet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you enjoy her music too.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks a lot for coming through, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me.
Next time you got to come with the guitar. All right.
Yeah, you'd have to turn on the AC in here a bit so my fingers can work.
True, boy. Kind of cool in inside here. That's true. All right, so let's go out with one of your tracks. Let's see, we're going to do Sunday Morning.
Okay.
All right, Sunday Morning. Yeah, I'm going to just wait for Master Control to put it up. Or just anything else you can't find Sunday Morning, just give us another one of Jeremy's songs. While, you know, it's like you can enjoy what you have right now. So keep enjoying what you got right now.
Yeah.
I've got somebody that's in the chair. We're going to be talking to him in a minute. Very interesting guy. And before we do, let's hear from our sponsors.
Greenz Music to the World is brought to you by Gittens Pharmacare, the pharmacy that cares. Halifax Street, St. George's. Natural Cool, Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse. Cool clothes for cool people. The Computer Store Grenada Limited, Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse. The Gamers Paradise with headsets by Razer, Conair, JBL, Sony, Astro, Logitech, and more. And Island Catering, without a doubt, the best food and catering service on the island. Gittens Pharmacare, the pharmacy that cares. Halifax Street, St. George's. Affordable access to care, a wide range of prescription drugs, medical supplies, health and beauty items, diabetic testing supplies, immune system support products, vitamins, supplements, and lots more. Visit us today or call 440-2165. Ask about or call in prescriptions, discounted items, and special delivery requests. Gittens Pharmacare. Care, convenience, expertise. We've got it all.
Yeah, coming soon from Gittens Pharmacare. All those who listen to this program will be getting discounts, so stay tuned. Also, I want to mention Island Catering. In case you didn't know, they do daily lunches. It's only $20, Monday to Friday, and you can pick it up or they can deliver to your workplace. So, you know, many people at work, many workplaces would order, and you can order at home, and once you in their vicinity, they will deliver to you, or you can pick up great food. And look out also for Pier 57 Father's Day luncheon. You know, that's going to be coming up soon, so stay tuned and book early to make sure you get in there. I have got in the chair my good buddy. You know, I'm gonna relax now. You know, it's like you know, it's not just me alone who does. Let me move away from the mic. It's not only me alone who does this show. There's a team. I put together a little team, and that helps me. There are kind of 4 people involved. I interviewed one earlier on. Her name was Lysandra. We have Kevin. He's out there in the States. We also have right next to me Akid, that's his real name, but he's known as DJ Blondie. And Akid comes all the way down from Victoria every Saturday to be part of this. And I also want to just thank him for doing that. And I want to chat with him a little bit because we have similar ideas on things. And one of the things I want to talk about is making your music clean for airplay. I know, Akid, you have some positions of that, but before I get there, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, for everyone who knows me and who doesn't know me, my name is Akid Charles, but typically people would call me either Blondie, Blondell, so you could get an idea as to where the DJ name came from. I started DJing not too long ago, about a couple of years now, let's say 2, 3, 4 years for the most. It was something that I wouldn't say I fell into. I have a couple of family members who are also DJs, so I guess as much as already in the blood.
Right.
And a while ago I started to take it seriously. Back then I was on virtual DJ using that kind of stuff, and then someone told me about Serato, and I was like, not so crazy about it, but I gave it a shot, and then most of the stuff was pretty much self-taught. And after a while I decided, you know what, I like it, I'll stick with it. And then I started doing simple venues, simple weddings and stuff. One of the first people that gave me my big break as a DJ was Young Song. Okay. Young Song, he drives, I think he drives a bus in Boca still, but he has a place in Tempe. And he met me and he said, yo, I looking for a DJ and I like how you does mix. Tell me what you need and I'll get the equipment. So we sat down, we spoke, he got the equipment, and from there it just took off. I've been here and there doing weddings and stuff. But right now, for now, my main focus is here.
Right.
As I'm here, it's my main focus.
Cool.
So
good to have you, man. Good to have you. You're a bad DJ, man. You know, and that's what we do here in Greenz Music to the World. We showcase our talent, our cultural or musical talent, not just the artists, but the people behind the scenes, the people who make the music happen. The DJs really make the music happen, right? So the DJs, the producers, the musicians, everybody. We feature everybody. So you're from Coast Guard. Actually, my buddy Crave, that's Rashid Julian, the one who introduced me to you. I said, Rashid, boy, you know, I said, boss, I'm looking for a DJ. He said, I got somebody for you. And he put me on to you. So, Coast Guard, what's it like living in Coast Guard?
Well,
what's Coast Guard like?
Not exactly Coast Guard. Rashid lives in Coast Guard, but I live in Diamond St. Mark's.
Oh, you're in Diamond.
So it's not that far from Coast Guard, maybe about a 10-minute walk. I live in a housing scheme with my mom, brother, girlfriend, and son. So it's pretty much a quiet neighborhood, really. You don't typically hear anything. The only time you might hear music is if someone maybe a little ways off might be playing something, but typically it's a quiet general neighborhood. You don't hear anything coming from there a lot.
So you don't heat it up with some DJs?
I do.
Like no noise pollution though?
No noise pollution. Right. No noise pollution. We make sure whenever we do something, we tend to do it either on a day where everyone's okay with, or we tend to keep it to ourselves. So we play it at a level that typically no one else might hear. But other than that, it's pretty much a quiet neighborhood, really. Yeah.
And one of the things I wanted to also chat with you about, maybe a bit of a sensitive area, but we talked about it and we cool with it. But the first thing I would say is that your name is Akid, and your name is Akid Charles, and that's what you are. But I also want to talk about the fact that you're a person with albinism. What is that like in the Grenadian context?
Okay, well, you see, the thing is, when I was younger, it was something that it used to more or less affect me in a way, because it's not like it's not something that you can change. So growing up, it wasn't necessarily tough, more or less, but you would get the teasing every now and then. And like I always tell people, that I guess as much that's what changed me to the way I am now.
Which is how?
I'm pretty thick-skinned, and if you ask anybody that knows me, I'm quick to come back if
you have a good comeback.
I have a good
nice. It's made you sharp me up.
Exactly.
Sharp me up.
Living with it's not really that hard. Once you know what you have, it's kind of like living with any other ailment or sickness or anything. Once you know what you're doing, then there isn't any problem, really.
Well, what do you have to overcome living with albinism?
Right. So for me, going outside, it's something that I have to prepare for.
On a sunny day, mainly.
Yeah, on a sunny day. Well, typically any day.
Any day, okay.
Any day, but you still prepare no matter what. So for me, the sunblock that I use, it's not your typical everyday sunblock. Like you would go to Gittens, or you might go to a pharmacy and you'll see a sunblock SPF 30, SPF 35, 45. That would work for a normal person, but somebody like me, what I use is SPF 100, which it's really strong, but that's what I tend to use because, again, UV rays is very detrimental to me. To everybody else, they can go out and be in the sun and no problem, but for me, I have to. Even going to the beach, there are certain times that I can go to the beach, and there are other times that I can't. So
when can't you go?
So I can't go on the beach, let's say between the hours of 9 o'clock to around after 3, because that's when the sun is out at its most. But after 4 going down there, I would be fine. If I put on my sunblock, I can still go to the beach during the day, but I would just have to be like under a tree or in shade or something, just to prevent. Prevention better than cure. Yeah, but other than that, there's nothing really different. People keep thinking that there's something different, that you might this or you might not really. There's nothing different about it.
So it's mainly
it's just the sun. That's all. Everything else, I'm fine. I'm fine.
And again, albinism has to do with a lack of melanin.
Right. It's
go ahead.
It's a lack of melanin in the skin. To be honest, it's genetic in the sense that everybody has the gene for albinism.
Right.
Some people might not have it, let's say, dominant. A lot of people might have it recessive. On the rare occasions where you might have 2 people that have it both dominant in their gene pool, then the chances of them making a child that looks like me is 50-50. So you might have your first child being born looking light-skinned, but then you have another one being born that looks a lot like me. But to be honest, there's nothing aside from that. There's nothing really off about it. It's just you're just like a normal human being.
You are a normal human
exactly,
being. Of course you are. So in your family, are you the only person with albinism? How many children, and are you the only one?
On my mother's side, she has 2 children by birth. My mom adopts a lot of children, so we have a pretty big family. I am the only one on my mother's side. On my father's side, he has, well, including me and my brother, he has 2 daughters and a son. And I am the only one. My sister is light-skinned, but not to my complexion. As far as I know, I don't think there's anybody else in my family, either on my mother or father's side, that looks anything like me. Yeah.
Well, it's good to clear it up and let people, just get familiar with normal thing. It's nothing at all.
Exactly. Education is the best thing you could give on these things, because people don't typically know how to deal with people like that. They just try to either be ignorant about it and be like, oh, you're this, you're that, or they might try to just try to baby you throughout life and that kind of stuff. But to be honest, just treat us normal and we're fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And never put the condition before the person.
Exactly.
Never put a condition before the person, But all I could say is like, you're an amazing DJ, and that's what, you're an amazing DJ. I see you do your thing sometimes, and what I would tell the listeners is that actually right after we finish this little interview, we're gonna switch to radio, and we're gonna let the DJ Blondie, as we know him, do his thing right after this. So stay tuned. We'll be switching from TV. Let me just make sure I don't have anything else that I really, really, really need to say while I have you on TV. So what we're going to do shortly then is that we're going to switch over from TV to radio.
Right.
So we're going to thank all of you who are listening on TV and social media. We're going to switch to radio, and you will be listening to the songs of DJ Blondie, Akeed Charles, and listen to the mix. It's called the Greenz Music to the World Mix with DJ Blondie. And I want to throw something else out there, is that if you are a female DJ, I want you to get in touch with me. I want to also feature a female DJ. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Are there any female DJs in Grenada?
There are. I have a DJ friend. His name is Dylan. Denzel Batiste. And if I'm not mistaken, I think his sister is also a DJ.
Okay, well, there you go.
And the women are coming into it, and they are coming into it strong.
Nice.
They're coming into it really strong with the DJing these days.
Excellent. So female DJs, hit me up. Easiest way, 405-3538. WhatsApp me. Okay? Master Control, let's run the sponsors. Let's pick up our sponsors one more time, and we're going to go over to Hot FM, DJ Blondie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, listeners.
Greenz Music to the World is brought to you by Gittens Pharmacare, the pharmacy that cares. Halifax Street, St. George's. Natural Cool, Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse. Cool clothes for cool people. The Computer Store Grenada Limited, Spiceland Mall, Grand Anse. The Gamers Paradise with headsets by Razer, Conair, JBL, Sony, Astro, Logitech, and more. And Island Catering, without a doubt, the best food and catering service on the island. Gittens Pharmacare, the pharmacy that cares. Halifax Street, St. George's. Affordable access to care, a wide range of prescription drugs, medical supplies, health and beauty items, diabetic testing supplies, immune system support products, vitamins, supplements, and lots more. Visit us today or call 440-2165. Ask about or call in prescriptions, discounted items, and special delivery requests. Gittens Pharmacare. Care, convenience, expertise. We've got it all.